absolutely gorgeous evening for baseball in the Gateway City. The Milwaukee Brewers make their way to town. It's the first of a 4-game series between the Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. One of the best thumpers in baseball, first baseman Prince Fielder of Milwaukee, coming off a big month with 10 home runs, and he drove in 16. And when these two teams get together, usually tight games. Back in early April in Milwaukee, Casey McGee, the walk-off home run. The Cardinals, though, return the favor in early June. Colby Rasmus drives in Aaron Miles, and the Cardinals had a walk-off win against the Milwaukee Brewers. Along with Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals find themselves 8 games in front of Milwaukee. It's a 4-game series, about at the halfway point of the season, Al, so really a big series for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, last year at this stage, Milwaukee was leading the division. Now they're in 3rd place. They're still trying to find themselves. They thought they corrected their problems with their pitching staff. That wasn't the case. They've really struggled there. But one thing they don't struggle with is swinging the bats.
And a look at the pitching matchup is coming up. The Cardinals face another lefty tonight in Randy Wolf. Blake Hawksworth for St. Louis. A look at that matchup is next. Expecting a big crowd. Brewers and Cardinals in game 1 of a 4-game set. Let's break down the pitching matchup, a righty and a lefty. We'll start with Randy Wolf of the Brewers.
Randy Wolf likes to throw his cutter, but just hasn't had a lot of success. Then a very slow curveball. Here in St. Louis, he's 0-4 with an ERA over 5.
On the other side, Blake Hawksworth has earned another start.
His 3rd start here in the big leagues. His last one, his best by far. He won at Kansas City. 5+ innings, only 2 hits allowed. We expect more of that.
Wolf, Hawksworth, tight races around baseball. We'll talk about that at the halfway point right after this. opinion, that's currently not in first place has a chance to win their division before it's all said and done?
Earlier in the season, in my mind, the best team I saw was the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I know they have injuries right now. They have some bats that are not being productive. But this is still a very, very good ball club. They're going to get hot. They're going to get healthy. Even Halliday is struggling on the mound right now. But they are by far the best team I've seen in the National League. They've won the last 2 years. They know how to win, and I expect them to win again this year.
Well, Ryan Braun and the Milwaukee Brewers, they're 8.5 games out in the Central Division. A look at the plays of the month coming up next. Against the Milwaukee Brewers. Game 1 tonight on Fox Sports Midwest. Let's turn the page on June and take a look at the top plays from the month. Left center! Out of here! Makes the play! Oh, goodness gracious! Holliday rips it into center. Look at that, a line drive homer.
Matt Holliday thrills the crowd here at Busch Stadium on Father's Day.
John Jay, his first. Gomes, a swing and a miss. Carpenter gets out of the jam. Got him. Cardinals hold on for the win. Colby launches one. Adios. Colby Rasmus. Homers again. Yadier Molina. Holliday again. Colby. Lopez.
Guys, come on.
The Cardinals with 4 home runs tonight.
I'm going to end on that.
Colby hits it a ton out to deep right. Skip. Bam. The second home run for the Cardinals today. Cardinals win it 6-4. Save to Franklin. 3-2. Base hit in the left. Holliday comes through.
A 3-run home run for Brendan Ryan.
Struck him out. 4-hit night for Felipe Lopez. Freeze, nice play. Freeze to first. Got him! Somehow they still got him. A diving catch by Freeze to take the hit away. Diving catch saves a run. Rasmus, oh, what a play in center field.
The throw by LaRue, and he is out. Ludwig will come up firing.
The throw to Molina, the collision. He is out at the plate.
That is hammered out to deep left. How far will this go?
Oh, did Ryan almost hit it to the roof.
Crowd appreciates the work from Matt tonight.
Swing and a miss.
His first career complete game shutout.
They throw it away. Here comes Wainwright. The Cardinals are winning. Arizona throws it around here in the ninth, and they throw away a win. Pujols, look at that. Crushed. It's all Pujols tonight. His second of the night.
I think Albert is the best I've ever seen from the first day of the month to the last day of the month.
A look at the plays of the month, and always exciting. We've got Game 1 with the Brewers coming up on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest. Happy birthday, Coach, and Cardinals baseball tonight. Brought to you by Budweiser with full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. By Chevy's expert auto service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. And by Casino Queen Hotel and Casino, home of the Lucy Slots. A birthday party here at the ballpark as we welcome you inside to Busch Stadium. Big crowds expected all weekend long for the holiday weekend against the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's take a look at their lineup tonight. Ricky Weeks, Corey Hart, and Prince Fielder in the first. Ryan Braun, Casey McGee, Jimmy Ballgame, Jim Edmonds in there in center field. Alcides Escobar, George Kateris, and Randy Wolf. That lineup is presented by Sprint. And making his first home start of the year, Blake Hawksworth. He's had a couple of starts, and this will be his 24th appearance this year.
I throw away the first one, concentrate on the second one where he beat Kansas City, 5+ innings, gave up a couple runs, 1 earned, only 2 hits. And hopefully that's more indicative. He's pitched very well against the Brewers, but that's all been in relief.
Ricky Weeks will lead it off for Milwaukee. He has hit well against the Cardinals this year with 3 home runs. 3 of his 13 against St. Louis. First pitch at 7:16 on a beautiful night for baseball. And our 4-game series is underway. 78 degrees right now, our game time temperature. Weeks takes a ball outside. Now, this is a guy that has done a terrific job in the leadoff spot. Leads the major leagues 13 homers and 47 driven in from this spot in the lineup, and he scored 50 runs.
Yeah, that's second best. But he has that combination. He can give you a quick lead. The whole thing about Ricky Weeks is he's hopeful that this will be finally the season he can stay healthy throughout the whole campaign.
Recent homestand, he hit close to 450. So he's swinging a hot bat at the start of play tonight. We saw in the start by Hawksworth against Kansas City over the weekend. He's not stretched out like a starter, so a pitch count is in effect, and that means he was aggressive and throwing strikes to stay in the game and go deeper in the game. And he did that. Here's a grounder. Brendan Ryan, high throw. And Aaron Ryan. And the leadoff man is on. Let's take a look at the defense. Holiday, Rasmus, and Stavanoa. And it's Lopez, Ryan, Schumacher, and Pujols, Hawksworth, and Molina. They're going to give Ricky Weeks a base hit.
Well, I know he's got good speed, but you don't have to rush to throw that much. And even though he's been trying to go over the top, that one he still went submarine style, and you run more the risk of having an errant throw.
Base hit?
Base hit. I don't agree with it, but that's what the official score, Gary Mueller, called it.
Here's Corey Hart. How about the home runs he's been hitting this year with 18? And he's hitting 282 and driven in 60. He's had an all-star campaign so far.
It's been outstanding. Remember when we first went to Milwaukee, he wasn't even in the lineup as he was struggling.
Right now he owns a 15-game hitting streak, which is the longest currently in baseball.
Oh, he's hit 15 home runs, 48 RBIs in his last 43 games. Leads the major leagues in both those categories during that stretch.
Leads the National League with 18 home runs. Second in RBIs with 60. Pitch at the knees and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. You mentioned it. This is a lineup for Milwaukee that's got some thumpers. With Hart having a bounce back year, you know what you're going to get with a combination of Fielder and Braun. And McGee has been very good this year once again with 12 homers and 50 RBIs.
But their problem has been on the pitching mound. So you expect them to score, but you expect to score against them also.
While they hit home runs, they give up a bunch too.
And they've hit the most home runs in the National League. They're pushing 100. So
leadoff base hit by Weeks. Count of 1 and 2 on Hart.
And Braun has the National League's best road average. That means he's not hitting too well at home if he's right at 300, 299.
Pitch in the dirt, and the count is at 2 and 2. Just underway, and a gorgeous evening for baseball here in St. Louis. Milwaukee has seen Blake Hawksworth 6 different times this year, and of course that was out of the bullpen. And if you look at his numbers, it's close to a full game, and he's only given up 4 hits in those appearances.
Yeah, I think covering 8 innings.
2-2 pitch. Got him. First strikeout and the first out recorded by Blake.
You got a hot hitter that you make look foolish, swinging a pitch that almost hits the ground as it crosses the plate. Couldn't stop his swing.
Blake is Canadian, born in North Vancouver, British Columbia. He was a draft and follow by the Cardinals. Highly touted in the minor leagues, especially early on in his professional career.
Yeah, Cardinal minor league pitcher of the year, and then he started having arm problems. Kind of was almost declassified as a prospect, but got healthy, got to the big leagues last year. Like to forget about his major league debut, but after that he pitched very well.
Debut was just a little over a year ago. 2 innings, he gave up 4 runs, 3 hits, including a home run. Quickly, 2 strikes on Fielder. That's been back-to-back changeups here on Prince Fielder.
Well, he has a very good changeup. You know, he can throw 93, 94, his breaking ball in the high 90s, but it's the changeup that really makes him effective. And a hitter like Prince Fielder, you would expect to see that could be a very valuable pitch for him, the changeup.
This is outside, 1-2. Fielder, one of the great home run hitters in recent history in major leagues, as Holiday very deep out and left. Entire outfield is deep, but especially your left fielder, opposite way, playing deep. Had 50 home runs a couple of seasons ago.
Youngest ever to hit 50 home runs.
Just passed Ben Ogilvie for 5th place on the Brewers all-time home run list on Tuesday with 177 in his career.
Also been a good RBI man. Molina wanted that ball up, didn't it? But when you throw it that far away, it negates what you're trying to do. I find when Blake really keeps the ball down, then he can elevate the ball like that and get hitters to chase. But for the most part, keep the ball down.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Blake. It's 2 dangerous hitters he struck out here in the first, and he'll get another one in Ryan Braun.
I'll pull the string. Look at that movement as that ball started almost at the letters and fell to the ground.
Ryan Braun is hitting .299, 11 home runs, and he has driven in 49. Quite the entrepreneur outside of the game of baseball with his own clothing line. He has a restaurant in Milwaukee. And he was a guy that not many people knew about coming out of high school. So he went to college and then busted on the scene.
I know about him now. You know, the Rookie of the Year a couple years back, and he spotted his competition. He didn't get it there until late May and then walked away with that award. He's the National League's leading hitter on the road, 364. 7 of his 11 home runs on the road.
Little chopper hit to Brendan Ryan. A flip to second. Schumacher is there. Following the leadoff hit, a pair of strikeouts and a ground out. Cardinals coming up in their half of the first. Milwaukee, first of 4 here tonight. And they'll get Randy Wolf, the lefty. So here's a look at the lineup for Tony. Brendan Ryan at short will lead it off, and then Felipe Lopez and Albert Pujols. Matt Holliday, Nick Stavanoa, another starting right. Colby Rasmus, Yadier Molina, the pitcher batting 8th, and then Skip Schumacher dropping down to 9th. Randy Wolf, we've seen him make a couple of starts already this year against the Cardinals. 13 1/3 innings against St. Louis. He's given up 12 hits, and overall his record stands at 5-7. Against the Cardinals, he's 0-1.
He's 3-6 lifetime against the Cardinals. He's 0-4 here in St. Louis with an ERA over 5.
And Brendan shoots one foul. Interesting to see that Tony puts Brendan Ryan back in the leadoff spot.
Well, the one thing he knows, Brendan Ryan can bounce back. It really doesn't matter what happens. He's always ready. He can always have a very positive outlook, and he's not intimidated by the pressure of leading off.
And that's hit out of play.
He just hasn't shown much balance in the batter's box. This seems to be falling all the time across the plate. Randy Wolf will try and throw the cutter in on the right-handed batters. He has a very slow curveball. He's lost a lot of confidence in that cutter, though.
Let's see if the Cardinals will be aggressive early in counts against Randy Wolf. I bring that up on first pitches. Opposing hitters are hitting almost 400 against him.
He's trying to get ahead, and his stuff isn't. He's not locating pitches like he normally does. You know, normally when he is right, and he was an 11-game winner last year for the Dodgers, you know, he can really work in on the right-handed batters, and then he can get you out of the way. But you see, he just doesn't have command right now.
Upset with himself, and the count runs full.
Well, he has to throw strikes, and you know, these Milwaukee pitchers are feeling the pressure a little bit. They have not done the job.
A 3-2 to Brendan Ryan. Late swing, and Wolf will step in underhanded to Fielder. Let's take a look at the defense behind Randy Wolf tonight. Ryan Braun, Jim Edmonds, and Corey Hart in the outfield. McGee, Escobar, Weeks, and Fielder along the infield. And our battery is Wolf and Contreras. Jimmy is back in center field here in St. Louis.
4-time All-Star, 8 Gold Gloves. And they say he turned 40 earlier this week, but still tracking him down. Jim told me he's swinging the bat very well. Just hitting line drive after line drive right at somebody since he's come off the disabled list, and we'll see.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on the switch hitter, Felipe Lopez. Interesting to read Jose Oquendo talking about Felipe. He says he could be a superstar.
You've got to keep his attention focused. It was after the 4-for-5 game. He made a couple nice plays. And then yesterday over at third base, he looked a little bit lost on some hard hit balls. But one thing Felipe can do is swing the bat.
Milwaukee has seen that. He was with the Brewers at one point in his career.
Last year, you know, he ended up with Milwaukee. A few years ago, he ended the season with the Cardinals. Last year, he signed with Arizona and then finished up with Milwaukee. Hit over 300 again.
2-2. And Felipe hits it in the air out to left. Ryan Braun under it. 2 outs. Well, something's got to give in this ball game tonight. Our Toyota keys to the game. Milwaukee on the road. Their offense very good. The Cardinals pitching at home. Outstanding with an ERA of 2.72. That's presented by Toyota.
Cardinals' best pitching ERA at, you know, in the big leagues at home, and second best overall.
We'll go back to Edmonds for a moment as Pujols will step in for the first time. 2 outs and nobody on. If Milwaukee would fall out of the race, you would think that there's got to be a contender that could use a former Gold Glover that could still track him down, as you said, and provide you pop off the left side of the bench.
And a guy that's been there in postseason. I know Jim is very loyal to his current club, but if that was the case, you know, he would welcome a move to a contender. Kind of an example like St. Louis.
He was in his prime. You had Pujols, Scott Rowland, Walker at the tail end, but what a lineup the Cardinals had. 04-05. 04, you could also mix in Renteria there, too.
Yeah, to me, that was an outstanding ball club. The 04 team, and unfortunately, the American League did not see how good they are in the World Series. And then 05 was another 100-win ball club.
A ball and 2 strikes on Pujols. Takes a ball, and it's 2-2. Hit in the air, popped up. Fielder over with room and makes the catch. Cardinals go in order. Second inning rolls ahead when we come back. Power hitter in the National League Central Division. Prince Fielder, Derek Lee, Albert Pujols, or Joey Votto's had a couple of big homers this last week for Cincinnati. Text power A, B, C, or D to 432-432. Pujols, you look at him as power and hitting for average on base percentage. It'd be tough to go against him.
And I don't expect the Cardinal fans to go against him, but if you're probably looking at pure power, it's probably Prince Fielder.
Yeah. Not on that list was Carlos Lee be in that conversation. And then we get off to a very slow start.
Yeah, but I still take Fielder. And Albert.
I'm just giving you choices.
Exactly. And I'm still taking my favorite.
Depends how you want to define power, too. Is it a guy that strictly is a home run hitter? Right on cue. Holiday back. Goodbye. McGee with the home run is 13th. And RBI number 51. This is a guy that had 41 RBIs in the very late portions of May. I mean, he was leading the league for a while.
And please tell me that was a replay of the walk-off home run that we saw earlier this year. I don't think it is, but you see, powerfully built, and he just drives this one into their bullpen.
He wasn't impressed. No big deal.
Yeah, his own teammate, too.
Nice round of applause once again for Edmonds back in St. Louis. Getting 261 on the year. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. McGee was able to get some playing time when Ryan Braun got injured. Third baseman Bill Hall had to play Braun's spot. Ricky Weeks got hurt, so Casey McGee got a chance, and this is a guy that was let go by the Chicago Cubs. Edmonds to Pujols, and he'll take it himself for the first out.
brings in Escobar, who's their exciting young shortstop, who's sitting 241 with 2 homers and 23 RBIs.
He's out of Venezuela, but Oquendo was telling me that the year he managed the Futures game, was that last year here?
That would be last year.
Yeah, okay, and he said Escobar was on his ball club. Not having quite the offensive year that they suspected he would, but he is their shortstop of the future.
Outfield is shallow and straight away.
Last year at AAA, just hit under 300, had 42 stolen bases, was a Pacific Coast League All-Star. Still has his amateur or his rookie status this year.
They let go of J.J. Hardy, who had had some productive seasons there, so it gives you an idea of what they thought of Escobar.
Sure. And, you know, it says something, too, that they got a very talented center fielder in that trade for J.J. Hardy, and Edmonds is playing ahead of Gomez.
There's a base hit into center. Reaching forward on a 1-2 pitch. Fox Sports Midwest welcomes the all-star musical Damn Yankees to the Muni in Forest Park. Join Fox Sports Midwest at the opener July 12th or make plans for the rest of the Forest Park series through July 18th. Damn Yankees at the Muni. For tickets, visit muni.org. Here's Gutierrez.
We're talking about being aggressive. I hope the Cardinals will be aggressive when they're on the base paths against Gutierrez.
Oh, leaning and got him. He was leaning. Escobar picked off by Blake Hawksworth.
That is helpful. Time to perfect. Watch this. He breaks for second as he breaks the throw, and Albert applies a tag right before it. Those legs slip out from underneath him, and that's what cost him. Might have got that hand back in, but because it looked so that he slipped, he was going the other way, and Blake quickly got the ball over. He's called out.
Gutierrez was claimed off of waivers by the Brewers from from Boston back in 2009, and this is a guy that basically was the personal catcher for Tim Wakefield, the knuckleballer of the Red Sox. That can't be easy.
And he's thrown out 1 of 29 base stealers.
Doesn't get the call, and it's a ball inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I remember yesterday the Cardinals stole 5 bases, so hopefully that was warming up for for tonight.
Back to Blake. Underhands to Pujols. Home run hit by McGee, 1-0 midway through 2.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Taco Bell, open 2 a.m. or later. Happy 6th birthday to Libby Nelson. Libby Nelson is 6 today. And little brother Brendan is also watching Cardinals baseball tonight. Getting ready for bed, I would assume, but happy birthday to Libby, who is 6 today. Brendan's also watching. I met Brendan the other day.
Good. And Lois Westbrook, a little bit older, at 60 years of age, celebrating her birthday.
I don't think Brendan remembers our chance encounter. I was going to the ballpark, and he was headed to the pool. Team Hotel in Kansas City.
Well, he's got to be going someplace.
No balls and 2 strikes here on Holiday. And the Cardinals are facing another pitcher from Pepperdine University.
How about that? Three this week. Danny Herron, yesterday's starter.
And of course, here Randy Wolf. He was first team All-American. It's out to deep right. But caught by Corey Hart. That was as a freshman. He was originally drafted as a Dodgers pick, 25th round back in 1994. Didn't sign. He went to school and then drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies. Second round in 1997. Wolf would make his major league debut in 1999.
Malibu, California, where the University of Pepperdine is. And you talk about one of the most beautiful settings for a college campus. Over the cliffs overlooking the Pacific. Is that a giveaway?
That's the folks in Big Mac land.
That's their flag, huh? They haven't had a ball hit up there for a while.
Randy Wolf is in the first year of a 3-year contract. Check swing, and Stavinoa went. Wolf's older brother is Jim, Major League umpire. And to avoid any conflict of interest, Jim is not allowed to work the plate on the games in which his brother is pitching. Strikeout of Stavinoa, and the first for Randy Wolf of the night. You can take in a Cardinals game in one of the Busch Stadium's most popular all-inclusive areas. Homer's Landing and Left Field Landing feature great field level seats plus food and drinks for one low price. Tickets start at just $72, and you can get yours today at Cardinals.com. Jim Jackson and the crew on the radio side working tonight. There's Mike Shannon, Mike Claiborne, and Jay Randolph. They're in the Champions Club tonight. Two outs and nobody on for Colby, who looks at a strike. It was odd when Randy Wolf was traded to Houston. It didn't make a lot of sense at that point in time for either Houston or Randy Wolf. Said he was going to test the free agent market. Colby with a base hit out to left.
They weren't going anywhere, right?
That's right. He signed a 1-year deal with the Padres. We saw him last year pitching with the Dodgers.
Maybe fooled a little bit as this ball goes deep on him, but it's also, you need to get a lot of hits. You saw those wrists just fly. Popped the wrist and everything, drove that ball out there on the line. Got to get Molina swinging the bat a little bit.
Average at .235, 3 home runs, driven in 30 on the year. Yachty into center. Edmonds coming on and makes the catch. Outstanding play from Jim Edmonds. Always playing shallow, and he robs Yadier Molina. We're not surprised. We've seen this a bunch. Brewers and enter to win a VIP All-Star Experience, compliments of Scott's. Along with Jim Hayes, who has joined us here in the third inning, Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you. Blake Hawksworth and the Cardinals trailing by the score of 1-0. Home run by Casey McGee, his 13th of the year. And Jim is with us, and we have proof now that we see Jim on camera. Jim,
I get the big boy chair.
Why don't you get a normal chair?
Ask the crew.
High chair.
It is a high chair.
I'm a guest, so I take whatever chair's available.
You're not a guest. This happens every third
every
inning.
day, but he's not quite sure about it. Hey, nice play by Jim Edmonds to end the inning, right?
That's vintage Jim Edmonds.
And it's also Mr. Pepperdine.
And another good hitting pitcher, just like Danny Herron. As we saw, and Chris Carpenter could attest to that. Randy Wolf is hitting .314, no homers and 3 RBIs. And Carpenter made a cameo on the pregame show, and also there's some news about his next start.
Well, he was part of the news and notes that we were going to do, and as I was talking about Chris Carpenter, he popped on to confirm everything that I was saying. Carpenter is good to go for a Saturday start. I reported that the forearm that suffered the hit from the line drive was a bit swollen. He said just bruised, but he's fine to go and he feels good. So the Cardinals are happy about that.
What happened with your microphone? That's the time that Al and I were really getting ready to hear the news and notes, and all of a sudden we didn't get them because your microphone didn't work.
I thought.
You've been in the business a long time, Jim.
Jim, come on.
I thought I had failed to turn on my microphone, but it was that guy, Kyle McClellan, snuck around and flipped the on-off switch into the off position.
You sure about that?
Yes, it's been confirmed. There's video evidence.
A strikeout of Randy Wolf.
He tried to get me the other day. Today he succeeded.
Are we going to let him off the hook?
What would you suggest
Jim,
I do?
I think he should be a cat fight.
Again, the cat fight is just a trivia contest.
We don't believe him, do we?
We cover this every week along with the seating situation.
Did you talk to Kyle after the incident?
No.
He was afraid to go talk to a bullpen.
Well,
then how do you know that he did it?
Well, again, he was in the background in the shot that the camera got, so people saw it.
Okay.
You don't believe it?
All right, no, that's fine.
I'm not convinced.
I think maybe you, after your first segment,
turned it off.
Being a responsible guy that you are,
saving power.
Yeah, you didn't want to waste the battery, so you turned it off, and now you're blaming Cardinal players for it.
I'm fairly certain I did turn it off and then back on.
Fairly certain? Are we in a court of law?
Are we 100%?
Excuse me, counselor. Excuse me, counselor. I did turn it back on.
I think you already, you already lost your case.
Who's the judge, Big Dog?
Well, you know which way that's going to go then.
You can't rule with Al.
Weeks rips it foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He doesn't believe. He does not believe Al. He doesn't believe Al.
What a judge.
It's a hometown judge.
Can you, there's a vacancy on the Supreme Court. Would you like to fill it?
Another thumbs down. There's a strikeout for Hawksworth. How about that? That's 4 now. First 10 batters that he's seen. All-Star voting isn't over quite yet. And you can vote for the 34th and final player for each league roster. Visit Cardinals.com on Sunday, July 4th, to see who made the team and who should get the 34th and final spot on each league roster. So back-to-back strikeouts. Here is Hart. He struck out his first time. Penny and Loesch.
Well, some real good news on Brad Penny. He took a step forward today through a mini simulated game in the bullpen. Told me he felt good. 60 warm-up pitches, 2 simulated innings with no batters, 15 pitches per inning. And Dave Duncan said the next step is another session in the bullpen on Saturday. And then on the road trip, Colorado, he'll probably throw to live batters.
Hart just reaching for it and taps it foul. So here's a look at Brad Penny earlier today.
It's nice, free, and easy.
I mentioned this yesterday. It really does affect what you might do at the trade deadline as the fans are coming through the turnstiles at a great pace. Well over 3 million expected this year, so that money could be available if you wanted to go out and tinker with this team with a trade, depending on who's there.
The thinking with Penny is if throwing to live BP goes well, then a rehab assignment, and he could be back sooner than later.
Well, I would think that it may, you would, in fairness to him, you would probably think you'd want 3 or 4. But I think out of necessity, it's 1 or 2 rehab assignments and then throw him right in the fire.
I think you're right.
1-2 pitch here to Hart. A broken bat liner and caught. Foxworth, Schumacher, Ryan coming up. It's 1-0. Let's check out the crowd through the first inning fan cam and see who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do. Budweiser, first inning. Jim Hayes is here. Here's Blake Hawksworth. And Hawksworth, Jim, getting another start here tonight.
Coming off that really solid start on the road trip. And one of the things you guys talked about, and I think was noticeable to the fans, was real good velocity. And I asked him about that after the game. And he said it was an easy velocity, meaning that for the first time in a while, the ball was just popping out of his hands. And he had good command. He was getting in front of a lot of guys, and he felt so good about that. He's just feeling confident as he goes into this one as well.
Yeah, you know, Jim, he was so disappointed after his first start. Was hopeful of another chance to redeem himself, and he really did. And he's off to a good start here. Just made one bad pitch.
Randy Wolf with his second strikeout. Here's Skip Schumacher. Schumacher in the 9th spot. And then you have Brendan Ryan in the leadoff spot here tonight. Tony La Russa trying to change things up a bit.
Maybe with the left-hander on the mound, it explains it most of it, why Skip is not in the leadoff spot.
And the first pitch is a strike.
Right-hander, he's on the leadoff spot.
Skip hitting .263, couple of home runs, 19 RBIs, and good to see the average above .260.
He's been really locked in. Early part of the season, he just wasn't comfortable, and you guys talked about it. One of those guys that really suffers through a dry spell, but it looks like he's gotten things squared away.
0-2 pitch, wasted outside.
A few hits have helped that, but you're absolutely right. He's so hard on himself that he probably prolongs slumps because he, feels so bad when he is doing poorly.
on the outside corner. Skip didn't like it. Randy Wolf with his third strikeout, and back-to-back Ks here in the bottom of the third. How about Kyle Loesch? It seems like we get daily updates on Loesch.
Yeah, today he dropped a quote on me which surprised me. He said the forearm is, quote, pretty much healed, and now it's a question of getting his arm strength back. John Mozeliak told us yesterday in the pregame show that Kyle wanted to move forward. As you see, part of his throwing program, he threw just 40 balls just playing catch, but they're happy with his progress.
Good to see you, Jim. We'll see you on the postgame. Hopefully Cal McClellan will not be part of that and leave you alone. And a special guest here in the booth. George Hutchings is with us, and a lot of folks around the St. Louis community know George as the Shoe Man. Always nice to have you with us. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Well, you have a very special project, and you've been involved with a number of projects involving a shoe donation and how that turns into clean water for folks that don't have it. So explain exactly how it all comes together.
Well, I'm the man that turns used shoes into drinking water. And I collect thousands of pairs of used shoes, and I export them to Kenya, Haiti, South America. People there don't have shoes. They can't afford to buy a new pair of shoes, so they live all their life without shoes, which gives them abrasions and sickness. Is that Prince Fielder?
That'd be Prince.
I hope he's still a vegetarian, because when he eats red meat, he's terrible. So anyway, I export the shoes, then I make some money off of it, and then I turn around and buy drilling equipment for Kenya, and now we're going to Haiti in July, and we'll turn that into clean water. In the last 2.5 years, we've drilled 140 wells in Kenya, and serving about 130,000 people.
And Fielder looks at a ball low and away, and the count runs full, 3-2. George, how'd you get started with this?
Well, I've been going to Kenya for since 1998, and 1 year we fed 21,000 meals to orphans. Another year we sent 30,000 pairs of shoes. So we've been doing something major every year. He's down on strikes.
So Fielder strikes out. That's number 5 for Blake Hawksworth. And George, how do folks get involved with this if they had some old shoes that they could donate?
Well, you can go to my website, shoeman.org. I've got 150 drop-off places here in the St. Louis and Illinois area. But I take in shoes from Tioga, Pennsylvania, Nashville, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas. If they'll pump the pumps, I'll be able to find a way to get them here.
And the number to call is 636-751-8197, correct?
That's correct, yes.
636-751-8197. This is Ryan Braun with one out and nobody on. And your big project, though, you're heading back overseas.
Yes, we need 1 million pairs of shoes this year. Haiti is drinking actually sewage water, and we have purification devices that can take surface water and convert it into drinking water to the tune of 1,000 gallons of water a day for each device. We're going to put the hospitals and refugee camps in also tent cities. So we just can. Ooh, there's a swing and a strike. Hawkesbury is going to be good tonight.
So is Hawksworth.
Hawksworth, yeah.
I'm just giving you a little trouble.
I know. That's all right. I deserve it.
No. 2 balls and 1 strike.
2 things I always wanted to do was play Cardinal baseball and be a Cowboy. Well, this is as close to being a Cardinal as I can get, so I'll be satisfied with that. But
well, you got the hat.
I got the hat and I got the boots, so I'll be the Cowboy.
The boots too.
Yeah.
3 balls and a strike. And give that website one more time before we let you go.
Shoeman.org. Shoeman.org, and the number is 636-751-8197. Doesn't matter where you are, we can get the shoes from you. If you could do a shoe drive, that's even better.
Thanks, George. We appreciate it. Good luck with the project, too.
God bless you. Thank you.
George Hutchings, kind enough to join us. And it's 3-2 here on Ryan Braun with 1 out and nobody on. Hawksworth looking for his 6th strikeout. Schumacher is there, makes the play. Casey McGee will be the hitter, and that's been the only blemish against Blake Hawksworth here tonight. And Hawksworth gave up the home run to McGee, his 13th of the year and 51st RBI. But other than that, Blake has looked very, very good. And the first pitch is taken at the knees for a strike. Cincinnati wins again today. They beat the Cubs 3-2. Reds aren't going away, are they?
No, they're not. And I think their pitching is going to improve, or at least if they need some help. They have a couple arms that are on the way.
Oh-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Wood pitched today for Cincinnati. Young left-hander pitched well in that ball game, and then you got Chapman, the Cuban defector, also Volquez coming back from arm surgery. So they should have reinforcements if they need any help. And Scott Rowland has really made a difference with that ball club.
He's an MVP candidate in my mind.
Yeah, he's really led that young, very good offensive team. He's taught them how to win.
Yeah, the Reds have 25 comeback wins, most in the major leagues. You start coming back in games like that, and you start to believe maybe this is our year.
Well, you believe that you're never out of a game. And on the other side of it is, I mean, that's such an extraordinary number. Can they continue to do so? And they haven't been able to pull away from the Cardinals, and we think our best days are ahead of us.
This Saturday, it's the Cooley Cup day here at the ballpark. Budweiser Cooley Cup. Tomorrow against the Brewers, of course, will be the Braccabrella Cooley Cup on Saturday. Get your tickets at Cardinals.com. Family Sunday this weekend as well. Weather should be ideal. Here's Edmonds, made that fine play out in center. He had Molina up, plus he plays shallow anyway. And as we went to break, Tony La Russa popped out of the dugout, wanted to argue it or at least get an explanation if Jimmy did indeed catch it. And we both thought that he did.
And I think our replay confirmed that he did, but we've seen that often. I was talking to some of the people with Milwaukee, and that was one of the things they said is, can't believe how shallow he plays. And I said, here in St. Louis, they try to get him to play deeper. He refused to do it. And all of a sudden, you'd see him take hit after hit away in front of him. And he always had the ability to go back on a ball, so he wanted to play shallow. There's more balls hit in front of you than over your head.
1-0 pitch to Edmonds, and instead it's a balk on Hawksworth. But the bottom line, Al, is that he gets, and we saw it year after year, he's not the fastest guy in talking about Edmonds, but his jumps were the best.
Well, you can see that just little flinch there as his knee buckled.
I mean, rarely, if ever, was there a false step.
No. And, you watch, you've seen it with infielders. We'll get Oquendo to talk about it sometime, but you get it with the Jim Edmonds that they have almost an additional sense that they just know where the ball's going to be hit, and they're almost in motion before the pitch is made.
A 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
I talked to Jim today. I said, you know a lot of the guys over there, and he goes, well, I know some of them. Talking about the Cardinal hitters, and he goes, we're talking about how dependent they are on video. And, when we see a young pitcher that no video or very little video, they just really have a hard time.
Schumacher makes a play.
And we'll give his answer later.
That's coming up. Lopez, Pujols, and that man right there, Matt Holliday. This one's for you telecast, which is tomorrow night. Here's a look at Sergeant Nathan Wooten and some of the great Cardinal fans you'll meet as we link up with the Missouri National Guard, those troops in Afghanistan. We're really looking forward to that tomorrow, and we'll come your way at 6:30, normal start time for us, 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. Felipe back to Wolf, and he's 0 for 2.
We encourage a lot of the fans to bring signs of support. You may have a loved one over there, or somebody you know that's serving in Afghanistan from a Missouri National Guard unit. So let them know you're back here supporting them.
Albert Pujols has reached base in each of the last 16 games. Tied for the third longest streak right now in the National League.
And a 1-0 pitch to Pujols. Now you were talking about video and Edmonds and how it all plays together.
Well, you know, it hadn't been that long since Jim played for the Cardinals, and so he knows some of these hitters. And I said, you know, they seem like they're so dependent on video.
Albert launches one into deep left center. That'll stay in the ballpark. Edmonds there.
And Jim basically said, he said, I hate video. He said, I will watch video. I'll watch just a few pitches to see if I can pick up whether the guy's tipping pitches or not. But just get a little idea, and then I'd leave it alone.
The pitchers, when he was in St. Louis, will tell you that more so the video, Jim Edmonds was the best thing for them because he always would pick up when guys were tipping pitches.
Right, and you know, and what we're talking about, where the guy opened his glove a little wider on a breaking ball, where he did some kind of facial mannerisms, you know, where he tightened on a certain pitch, little different things, innuendos that he would pick up, whether it was his team or an opposing team. It's the pitchers, and would help him in the box. But he really didn't want to study video after video pitch. You know, he just felt like that would just be more confusing. And he was a very good educated guesser. I said, well, you were a good educator. He goes, well, when I saw somebody tip a pitch, that's when I guessed. And when sometimes he launched one when he guessed right.
Holiday pulls it to third sharply. McGee makes the play, and the Cardinals go in order 1-2-3. Edmonds and the Brewers, after 4, lead it 1-0.
You know, stores around, but you got to go to the one in Springfield. You want to see the real deal.
This date in history, Colby Rasmus hits a walk-off home run in the 10th for Bob Howry, giving the Cardinals a 2-1 win. Here's Escobar. Escobar, the shortstop, is 1 for 1. He singled back in the second inning. 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hawksworth here in the 5th inning has only allowed 3 hits, and one of them we questioned, the leadoff ground ball to shortstop that Brendan Ryan threw away, and they gave an infield single to Weeks.
Tough play for Schumacher. Can't make it. It's a base hit into right field. We've got the Build-A-Bear Workshop Day coming up. That'll be in early August, and it's part of the 1985 celebration weekend. It has the 1985 replica jersey. That's Sunday, August 1st against Pittsburgh at 1:15. The Build-A-Bear Workshop Day. And the 2 days before that, in celebration of the 1985 championship team of the National League, Vince Coleman bobblehead as well as Whitey Herzog bobblehead. So busy weekend.
This is hammered out to deep right. At the track, at the wall, and it's gone into the bullpen. 2-run homer. Contreras is 6th of the year, and it's a 3-run lead for Milwaukee. All their runs scoring via the home run.
Contreras getting a chance to play because Zahn out with a shoulder injury. Ball down and away, and he got the sweet part of the bat and just rifled this one to the back of the Cardinal bullpen.
And Randy Wolf will be the hitter. 3-0 in favor of the Brewers. And Wolf shoots one foul. Told you earlier he can hit. Mentioned also earlier how important this series is for Milwaukee. You look at it, Al, you're about halfway through the season, and the Cardinals are on pace where they were a year ago, but for Milwaukee, they need to pick up the pace if they're going to get back in the race.
They were in first place just ahead of the Cardinals a year ago. Now they're in third place.
Felipe over in foul territory and can't come up with it.
That was strange, and I'm sure.
I wonder if he almost stumbled a little bit over there.
You know, there's a lot of new sod, more so around by first base, but watch this. He just loses it. And, you know, he almost made you think he stumbled or something, but he doesn't give you an indication, just overran it.
One and two now on Randy Wolf. Keep an eye on the pitch count at 78.
And they scored that as an error. And doesn't matter now is the 6th strikeout for Hawksworth.
Let's turn to our trivia question presented by AT. Which National League team has allowed the most home runs the past 2 seasons? AT trivia question. Milwaukee at 285 and the Phillies at 274.
Well, that's a byproduct of each of their ballparks.
You think that with Milwaukee?
Yeah, it can be a very small ballpark.
In the air, right center. And Stavanoa makes the catch. So this date, looking back to a year ago, and the division leaders, and of course Milwaukee, 2009, many felt that they would head to postseason play, but that wasn't the case. Loss of Sabathia really hurt them. Suppan was not as effective as they thought he might be.
And then this year they went out and got Randy Wolf and Doug Davis. Doug Davis is on a rehab assignment as he has a inflammation of the heart, and he's probably pretty close to coming back. He threw like 99 pitches in yesterday's game.
Corey Hart out to left. Holiday is back near the wall, and it's off the wall. Stays in the ballpark, and Corey Hart winds up with a 2-out double. His first base hit of the night, so that winds up being 3 hits in the inning right now against Blake Hawksworth.
The current 16-game hitting streak now for Corey Hart. Look at that ball, a breaking ball, but it got up in the zone, middle half there. That ball becomes very hittable. You see just that where he gets it out on the sweet part of the bat.
Big gap in the left center here for Fielder with 2 outs and a runner at second. And he skies one into center field. This time of night, sometimes it's tough to pick up the baseball, but not here for Colby. He's got it, and we're midway through 5. 2-run homer by Contreras. 3-0 Milwaukee. Woodstein, legendary performance on this date in baseball, 1920. The Cardinals make their midseason debut at Sportsman's Park after signing a 10-year lease. Cabot Woodstein, legendary performance. And here's Nick Stavanoa. Stavanoa, Rasmus, and Molina as we play here in the bottom of the 5th. And let's see if they make Randy Wolf. We talked about earlier being aggressive early in counts, but first pitch strikes, 12 of 14. Let's see if they make him work a little bit here in this inning. He's made quick work of the Cardinals tonight.
That can work in your favor, and it also can work against you. You know, if all of a sudden you're not grooving the ball and you're going after pitches that are just on the fringes.
There's a base hit out to left. Pitch number 48 for Wolf on the night. Pitch that was up and over the plate for Nick Stavanoa to drive.
Wasn't the first pitch or second pitch, but when you get a pitch like this that's up over the plate, you've got to be ready and you've got to pound it. Stavanoa, give him some credit. I mean, he's been the Cardinals' #1 pinch hitter. With Ludwig out, and he'll be out for a few more days. Stavanoa getting a chance to play on an everyday basis, and he's not embarrassing himself by any means.
How about Colby? He's already matched his home run total from his rookie season of 16 that he had that first year. We've just begun the month of July.
Man, that doesn't happen very often. Colby became the 4th Cardinal to hit 16 or more home runs in each of his first 2 seasons.
And he pops it up here, left side. Escobar in foul territory has it.
Now, the other 3 are Albert Pujols, Johnny Mize, and Kenny Boyer.
It's amazing. What's on tap? Let's take a look. Coming up for the 4th of July weekend here at Busch Stadium. And for us, it's our This One's For You telecast tomorrow night, presented by Budweiser. Pair of lefties, Chris Narveson, who was part of the Larry Walker deal way back when in 2004, and Jaime Garcia. Garcia is 7-4, Narveson 7-4. There's David Freese, the Cardinal third baseman there on the left.
Shut him down. He was on the disabled list. We'll see him after the All-Star break. And talked with Ludwig today, and he's making progress, but still probably not able to do anything. And really kind of was hopeful that maybe having this weekend off, when we get to Colorado, he'll be able to play.
On the outside corner to Yadier Molina. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Thought he hit that line drive out to Jim Edmonds, who made a outstanding play, leaving his feet, coming diving in for it.
And once again, the Cardinals against lefties, they have struggled again. 13th right now in the National League, and at average it's under 250. Molina shoots it into right again, but it's that kind of night. Hart comes up with it, fires it into first, and nearly picked up a double play. Yachty has stung the ball. He's 0 for 2. Nothing to show for it.
Another sliding catch this case. And he really did hit the ball well. One of the things, though, Dan, is right now these teams are really defensing this. Stavanoa alertly gets back. They're defensing him properly. They know he likes to hit a lot of balls to right field, and they know they can play in a little more shallow. So they've taken away some of those hits that were there for him a year ago. Now they're catching them.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. Blake Hawksworth hitting for himself here in the 5th inning. So they'll stretch him out a little bit longer here today. Quickly, 0-2. Different pace to this ball game tonight than the one we saw yesterday afternoon. 3 hours and 53 minutes for a 9-inning game.
And that kind of picked up the last couple innings, but that was torture. When you lose, it was really torture.
Sure, it was one of those games that Tony.
Well, even Tony alluded to it. He said it wasn't entertaining. The pace of that game was not entertaining. That was his comments. He said, of course, they enjoyed it a little more than we did because they won.
Tony, when we're on the road, will go take a walk and maybe read a book, just try to get away. And sometimes it's very hard to let those things go.
They stranded 14 runners.
Exactly.
So, it's not only the opportunities that they had, but I think in Tony's mind, they should have done obviously more and drove in some of those stranded runners. But I think he thought they should have had even more base hits and more scoring opportunities than they did have.
1-2 pitch. 2-2. Happy birthday to Jim Heaton of Dixon, Illinois, celebrating his 84th birthday today. Hawksworth, the broken bat. Wolf gets it, steps and throws it, makes the play. The Cardinals have stranded 2 on the night. Randy Wolf is through 5. 3-0 Milwaukee. Ones for you, our telecast tomorrow, and make sure you bring a sign of appreciation to our troops, as we'll be televising on the Armed Forces Network and to the folks in Afghanistan, and we're looking forward to it. This one's for you tomorrow right here on Fox Sports Midwest at 6:30. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin with you.
That'll be a lot of fun, and can't thank them enough for what they're doing. We can enjoy this baseball game and just the liberties we have in our great country because of the work the men and women, the armed forces do for us on a daily basis. And I, for one, never forget them. And I know all of our fans are very passionate and in support of the armed forces.
Here's Ryan Braun, first pitch. Hit high in the air. Shortstop Brendan Ryan under it. Makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 away. We've got a family Sunday this weekend, and don't forget, it's an ice cream Sunday as well. It's 2 hours prior to the game in the Ford Plaza. Music, fun, games for the kids, and don't forget about the ice cream. It's free out in the Ford Plaza. Family Sunday as well, which means the purchase of a ticket, select seats here at the ballpark, you get a free hot dog and Coke. Here's McGee. Always notice different ways to hit, different approaches, and the different stances. Look how crouched he gets in his stance and then explodes into the baseball. Tremendous power with his 13th home run earlier tonight. Pujols has got it. Underhands to Hawksworth. Quickly, 2 outs. After the game, Cardinals Live broadcasting from the Aqua Bar at Lumiere Place Casino. Player interviews. Of course, you'll see Tony La Russa. It'll be Pat Paris and Rick Horton breaking down the game. It's U.S. Cellular. Cardinals Live after the game on Fox Sports Midwest.
And we got great Cardinal fans as Edmonds come up here, but the Proctors are here. 92-year-old Woody Proctor He's the father of 60-year-old David Proctor and the grandfather of 25-year-old grandson Kip Proctor. So 3 generations.
Here's Edmonds. And that pitch is taken low. One of those looks by Jimmy that, hey, 2 quick outs, might take a pitch or 2, or at least 1. 2 balls, no strikes. Jim tonight is grounded out to first and also grounded to second.
Hit both of the balls fairly hard, but that's what Blake wants to get is ground balls. He's done a pretty good job, just a couple big flies.
Catches the corner, 2-1. Well, you couldn't ask for better weather this time of year here in the middle of America. This is gorgeous.
It's going to warm up a little bit over the weekend, but still below seasonal averages.
Changeup has been really good tonight at times for Hawksworth.
In my mind, that everything is off his fastball, and when he keeps that ball down, his fastball it's really good. But that changeup, in my mind, is his best pitch.
Here's a 2-2 to Jimmy. Struck him out. That's 7 strikeouts for Blake Hawksworth. Hawksworth, many of these coming on the changeup and location, tailing movement, downward action. Hawksworth tonight, impressive with his 7 strikeouts.
That looked like just about every one except for the last one, a fastball at 94 thrown by Edmonds, where his changeups. Hopefully we'll see a lot of those men in the armed forces, like a private first class, soon to be general.
It is amazing when we have done this in the past, the response that we've gotten from the soldiers, the men and women overseas, just to give them a little slice of being back home. Cardinal baseball, or having a chance to see a ball game, whether or not they're even Cardinal fans, just seeing the game of baseball.
Well, that's it. And our ushers and usherettes are so good here. Many times they will tell us of uniformed personnel or somebody coming back from a tour, and anytime we can bring them up in the booth, we try to do so. But just a little slice of heaven coming here to the ballpark and escaping what they do on a daily basis. Dan, I went.
There's a grounder hit to second. Tough hop. Schumacher retired.
In '97, I went over to Bosnia. And I went through Germany first, then took a C-130 into Bosnia with 3 other ball players. And, you know, you're thanking these troops for what they're doing for us. And you know, before you could even get your thank you out, they're thanking us for coming over to see them. And we go, hey, it's the other way around. You're the guys that we came to see, and they were just so appreciative of just having any slice of the United States. And so I'm sure this telecast tomorrow is going to be very meaningful to those Missouri National Guard troops.
And a strike to Brendan Ryan. Ryan hasn't seen a lot of pitches from the leadoff spot. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Good buddy Scott Cooper works tirelessly here in the St. Louis area in youth baseball as Reyes is getting loose. He has tryouts for the St. Louis Gamers. And that program has sent a lot of kids on to college with scholarships, and some of those kids have been drafted. And Scott Cooper, the former Cardinal third baseman, along with Matt Whiteside, who's also a former major leaguer, calling St. Louis home. Put that on. Find out more at stlgamers.net. Ryan shoots it foul. Again, that's stlgamers.net.
Yeah, they do a really good job, and just encourage, and they're going to teach you how to do it the right way. Of course, Ricky Horton was telling us earlier the Cardinals had one of their Cardinal Care clinics this afternoon in the area, and how well the ex-Cardinal players do, and instructing some of the young kids the right way and learn how to appreciate.
In the air out to center, that spun Edmonds around, but he makes the catch. That's exactly what we were talking about, the break that Edmonds gets. That's hit Adam and no false start. Plaza Tire Service, Exmo Camp.
One of the few times you see Brendan Ryan with pretty sound fundamentals. I mean, in balance. Ball got in on him a little bit. He hit it hard, but it didn't hit it out on the sweet part of the bat, as it's more around the label, and just didn't carry as far.
And a strike to Felipe Lopez. You saw Jimmy there, Al. He was spun around just a little bit. He turned to his left to get back, and then had to come back over his right to make the catch. But again, no false step in.
You don't worry about him. An 8-time Gold Glove winner, and if you say some guy gets turned around, he's in trouble. But Jim knows exactly where he's going, and whether it's over which shoulder, or remember the play in Kansas City. Many people considered that maybe that's his finest. Is when he was with the Angels, he ran right back straight towards the center field wall, dove, and caught it over his shoulder.
Randy Wolf fielding his position tonight. Steps and throws, and the Cardinals once again go in order. Third time that Wolf has done that tonight. It's 3-0.
Surprise here. Cardinals telecast, Cardinal fans, and they go with the Cardinal. Albert Pujols at 85%, and that's presented by U.S. Cellular. And it's our call to the bullpen, presented by Chevrolet. Denny's Reyes, the lefty, will come in for St. Louis.
Cardinals have to be thrilled with the performance by Hawksworth. Not pleased that he's trailing 3-0. But that's another story. That's lack of offensive support. But 6 innings as he's trying to stretch out. 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk. And a couple mistakes as he survived 2 home runs. And Reyes will come in here, and hopefully he can pick up a victory. 35th appearance, ERA at 3. He is 2-1 on the season. Has allowed runs in 3 of his last 9 outings after allowing just 1 run in his first 25 appearances. He gave up about 4 hits in April and May combined. And June was troublesome, but this is now July. I mean, seriously, you just got to think that way. In the last couple outings, he's been a little bit better, but he just had a funky stretch where almost unheard of, where he had 9 consecutive left-handed batters that reached base against him. And we saw how effective he was last year and earlier this year.
Upstairs, 1-2. We asked you earlier, Al, about the teams that currently not in first place that could win their division. You went with the Phillies.
And I know they're going to have to play without Utley for, what, 2 months?
Yeah. He had surgery on that thumb.
Sliding head first.
Into second base against the Reds. Escobar retired by his counterpart at shortstop.
You know, Brendan Ryan struggling offensively, but defensively, he has the ability to win a Gold Glove. And you see it going over the top, where earlier in the season, kind of had a few errors pile up on him when he was throwing down south or down sidearm. And just really, I mean, he prefers to throw that way, but when you start throwing a few balls away, they're going to make you throw it the proper way.
Terrace with a 2-run homer. That was in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. Pair of home runs tonight. McGee, a solo shot in the 2nd. Contreras, 2-run homer in the 5th. And a foul ball. Ooh. Go back to the home run in the 5th, no doubt about it.
This ball just jumps off his bat. It looked like a fastball that kind of out over the plate, got the sweet part of the bat, and just drilled it into the Cardinal bullpen. Naked eye, I thought that might have crossed the bag fair.
I'm with you. Two and 2. So even with Utley out, you're saying the Phils?
Well, yes. You know, Polanco's hurt right now too.
He's out 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, they'll recover, but you know, I believe Worth is going to get back there. You know, they got a lot of hitters. You know, Halladay hasn't been winning games. He's pitched well, but he hasn't won. Just know how to win.
Cardinals camp out presented by Bass Pro Shops coming up, and Tracker Boats Friday, August 27th. Come spend a night on the field and under the stars at Busch Stadium. Tickets will go on sale tomorrow, and if you'd like to find out more, just go online, cardinals.com/campout 345-9500.
You don't think Ruben Amaro Jr. is hearing about trading Cliff Lee?
No doubt.
The players were all vocal. You know, hey, why can't we have both Halladay and Lee?
To me, Al, I don't know if you feel this way. I'm sure as a former player at the time, if you were playing, you'd say, yes, I feel this way. But the window to win is very short. And if you have a chance to have two of those guys and get into another World Series, you do it. Because you don't know when that time is going to be up, when it may come around again.
I always remind you that you are very good at spending other people's money.
I'm outstanding at it. And so is Libby.
So I've heard.
And June?
She is... depends on what we're spending it on.
But, I mean, think about that. If you have Halladay and Lee added, you know, with what you already have this year, which is pretty good, not shabby.
And, you know, I mean, you could let him go, you know, when his contract is up, right? It's next year?
He's done after this year.
Yeah, after this year. So, I mean, they had him this year and could have traded him, but, and almost guaranteed what you would have thought would be their third straight appearance in the World Series.
There's a grounder hit to second. Schumacher there. Good work by Dennis Reyes. Time to stretch here at Busch Stadium. 3-0 Milwaukee. Brought to you by Lumiere Casino. Every time the Cards win, the next day get a free buffet with a purchase of one at the kitchen at Lumiere Place. Visit My Choice for details. And by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T. Rethink possible. The guys will be at Lumiere Casino coming up the post-game show later tonight. Cardinals with just 2 hits tonight. Out hitting the ball game 6-2. It was nice to see the black and gold of University of Missouri shirt. And Pujols looks at a strike. Helen Wild is our merchandise winner. The Hyundai Lawn Drive Inning Sweepstakes tonight. Good luck to Helen.
We're going to have a winner today.
Who's going to do it, Al? Pujols, Holiday, or Stavinoa?
Well, I think all three of them. And then we're going to throw Kobe and Molina.
Here you go again. Spending other people's money. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Albert rips it foul.
My good friends at Hyundai would be thrilled if we had 5 consecutive home run hitters. And they qualify for that Hyundai Sonata.
One and two the count.
And remember, I am the one that leads that parade on who wins the car.
Albert in the air, center. It's gone. We've got a winner. Helen Wild is going wild. We have a winner.
I thought I just said that.
19th of the year for Pujols. And here is our rapid rewind of Albert Pujols, fueled by Wheaties.
Albert has that ability to fight that pitch off, get his hands through, straight center field, didn't have much clearance. Looked like it might have gone off the top. Just that little tiny shift in his weight, but keeps that balance. Great strength. And Helen, that's just the first of this home run inning. Again, when I say we're going to have a home run winner here,
you don't lie.
And I did say Albert
and
others. I think I was 5 in a row. I mean, I don't think I'm going to Luminaire Place tonight, but
ooh, good rip. Yeah. Line drive shot by Pujols.
Ricky has that. He's already bellied up there. Luminaire Place in the Aqua Bar. Albert, he hit a home run earlier on Wolf. Holiday, we talked a little bit last night. It's been a while since he's hit a home run here at home. He's sitting on 11.
You got to hear Pat and Ricky talk about that postgame show from Lumiere. They love the fact that they can interact with the fans over there, and they really enjoy it.
I mean, it's amazing they don't do the show every night from there. They have so much fun.
Full count on Holiday.
You know, Holiday, need to get him smoking.
Three-two pitch and a walk, so the tying run comes to the plate.
He would have hit a home run, but Wolf was afraid of him. His first walk tonight. I know Randy was not afraid of him. He's trying to pitch hard here, but I'm trying to get my 5 in a row. Stavano is part of my home run binge here in the 7th. He hit a home run off of Hoffman as a pinch hitter. The game winner. He could tie the game now if he hits the long ball.
.84 pitches tonight for Wolf.
He hasn't had much of a threat all night. First time Cardinals have had more than one base runner in an inning.
Activity now for Milwaukee. Braddock is the lefty.
Cameron is the right-hander. Wolf right around 85 pitches.
Stavano out in front, pulls it foul. Nick is 1 for 2 with a strikeout tonight.
Randy's version of the Ephus pitch, 66 miles an hour, and Stavano a little bit out in front.
Now he's only thrown 86 pitches tonight. That's it.
And it's not particularly hot, so should have more in the tank.
Stavano, base hit. Holiday to second. Holiday to third. First and third and nobody out.
And Stavano, his second hit of the night, 2 for 3. Setting the stage for Rasmus.
The first 3 pitches to Nick Stavinoa were all under 70 miles an hour.
And he got that ball up and away. It's up, and he just drills it into right field. Quick wrist. Pops the ball over there. Holiday goes first to third. The tying runs are on base. Like you said, he's only at 87 pitches, but look at after 76.
That's why
that
the bullpen is active. Yeah.
Willie Randolph, who's going to be coaching third base after tonight, is their third base coach is going to. I think it's a daughter's graduation. Willie's a little concerned about that. He's had recent surgery on his elbow, and he's a little concerned about waving in runners.
Two balls, no strikes. Colby 1 for 2.
Breaking ball there as Colby just looked at it. Swing him around a little bit. I guess straight away.
Molina, he's on deck, and he has hit into some tough luck tonight. Lined out twice. Wolf thought he had a strike, and now it's 3-1, so Colby's in the driver's seat.
Well, Yachty's swinging the bat. He may not get a chance against Wolf.
Ooh, good rip.
At 89 miles an hour. Randy doesn't have a lot of confidence in his fastball, and 3-2 here. It's one of those tough deals. You throw a breaking ball, which would be the pitch to get him out, but if you walk him, you're probably out of the game. So psychologically, a lot of times too, Dan, if you're a hitter and you've got confidence yourself, and you see a pitcher all of a sudden throw to first base, he's going, okay, he doesn't want to make this 3-2 pitch to me. He's going to try and trick him out, trying to pick somebody off. But eventually he has to come home.
We'll do it again.
Fastball, and Colby had a good rip. Catcher set up away. The ball was on the inner part of the plate. A year ago, Colby was really fighting facing left-handed pitchers. Much better this season.
3-2 pitch. Struck him out.
Breaking ball. That's the pitch. You know, you've got to throw it. If you can throw it for a strike, you're probably going to get him out. And that's probably it, as Maka now is called to the bullpen to bring in the right-hander. So there's the breaking ball. He left it in on the inner part of the plate. He wanted it away. And Cameron will be coming into this game.
Pretty good outing by Randy Wolf here tonight. He allows just 4 base hits. And that'll be it. This will be our Chevrolet call to the pen. Molina set to hit with 2 runners on when we come back. Bullpen for Milwaukee, .54 ERA. Opponents only hitting .145 against him. 15 strikeouts to 4 walks and 16 2/3. And he'll get Yadier Molina with runners at first and third and 1 out. Molina tonight lined out to center in the second and lined out to right in the fifth. Both times good plays by Edmonds and Hart.
It's the first time we have seen this pitcher, Cameron Lowe. He is 6'8", 228 pounds. Been in the big leagues with Texas, but last season he was with Japan.
Runners at the corners and a ground ball double play. Out at second, out at first. Lowe comes in, gets the double play. 3-1 Milwaukee. Play, but we did have our Hardy's prime cut, so now we can start to smile because Pujols hits another home run. That's number 19, RBI 58, and he's moving up this list. Albert Pujols against the Brewers, career RBIs and 123 for Pujols, just 3 behind the switch hitter Eddie Murray, Ripken and Griffey, and then Reggie Jackson on that all-time list. Also, he tied Edmonds' career home runs, 385 with that blast. Fernando Salas is into the ballgame with a 0 ERA.
And you can just see the way they're using him. They have a lot of confidence in Salas. Went 2 innings in Toronto, was rewarded by sending back to AAA. Then he pitched 2 innings on Tuesday, and now he finds himself in this game again. So
slider that time,
but I mean, here's another good arm, or a guy that they like. Basically sinker slider, very good control, and he has that rubber arm to where they feel like he'll eat some innings up for him.
It's Miguel Cairo today, one of the heroes for Cincinnati. He came off the bench in the 10th, pinch hit, got a base hit, eventually scored the go-ahead and winning run. Now the Reds' 9th straight extra innings win on the road.
In Chicago, and speaking about the road, my Phillies, they lost to Pittsburgh tonight, 3-2. That hurts them when you can't beat the Pirates in the Battle of Pennsylvania.
Cubs dropped 11 games below .500, now 10.5 games out. It's their lowest point since they finished 66 and 96 back in the 2006 season. 1-2 here on Ricky Weeks. A fly ball sent in the air to right field. Catch made by Stabanoa. Good start for Salas after a scoreless inning of work by Reyes. At home from Hawksworth.
That home run by Albert, doesn't that put him in the National League lead? Corey Hart extended his hitting streak to 16 games. He has 18. Votto has 18 also. They were all tied. I'm going to make you work.
I'll look it up. I'm happy to look it up, Al.
Garcia's still trying to figure out if Pittsburgh and Philadelphia are in the state of Pennsylvania.
19 now for Pujols. Jumps ahead of Hart, Votto, and also Mark Reynolds.
Well, that's right. Things are back to normal then.
Yeah,
leading.
The Pujols is in the top 10 in hitting. Martin Prado of Atlanta hitting .333 to lead the league. Then Polanco, who's hurt. Home runs, Albert with 19 leads the National League. And then RBIs, he's at 58, 2 back of Hart, and 5 back of David Wright.
And Washington won that game tonight over the Mets 2-1. They're playing that series. Are they playing that series too in Puerto Rico?
I thought it was just the 3 against Florida.
No, Kendall was excited about that, so they got a chance to watch some of those games. And
how about the Mets? They're 10 games above 500.
Yeah, I mean, club you just kind of wrote off. How about where Schumacher's playing?
How about where Brendan Ryan is playing too?
They're both playing illegal.
The outfield grass.
Schumacher, Brendan, a little not quite as deep, and with Prince Fielder up, I agree with where they're playing.
Uh-oh, this could be trouble. Well hit into left center, and Prince Fielder goes deep. It's another home run for Milwaukee. Their third tonight, and it's a 4-1 Brewers lead. And Salas has now allowed his first major league run.
That's the 18th home run for Prince Fielder. And Molina set up away. Really not that bad a pitch, but you're talking about a guy with great power. And he drives this ball well up into the left center field stands.
426 feet away. Now Ryan Braun with 2 outs. So this lineup will get your attention, no doubt.
Yeah, there's 3 home runs for the Brewers here tonight. Okay, for all their scoring.
Braun is 0 for 3.
Came in leading the National League in road batting average.
For Milwaukee, one of the questions that they will have to answer is, do you decide to say goodbye to Prince Fielder, take that money, and go get yourself some pitching? Do you have enough with guys like Braun and Hart, McGee? Or do you have to sign Fielder? He is represented by Scott Boras.
And I mean, he's still a young man, but you've got to have some concern with that body, don't you?
You would think.
I mean, a couple of years ago, he tried to become a vegetarian after hitting 50 home runs and got off to a slow start.
Crowd tonight, 40,302. Another crowd over 40. Three-two pitch, and Braun chased the ball. Strikes out. Fielder with a home run. It's 4-1. Brought to you by Bud Light, the sure side of a good time. Here we go. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Gorgeous night for baseball once again here at the Gateway City. And Randy Wynn will be your pinch hitter. Then we'll see Schumacher and Brendan Ryan. Here in Milwaukee, you still have to go through Pujols and Holiday before the night is through. One way or another. So Wynn pinch hitting for Salas. Struck out one and gave up the home run. Line on Randy Wolf, by the way, 6 1/3. 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. The home run by Pujols. He walked one and struck out 4.
Cameron Lowe back out there. And when spring training is not in roster players, you see Randy Wynn, who will be pinch hitting for Salas. Boggs is warming up.
Outfield is straight away, and Wynn grounds it foul.
And they only have 3 relievers that have been with the Brewers all season long. We're trying to find the transaction on how Cameron Lowe got here, as he is not listed on their bullpen availability and not listed in their statistics.
Two balls and a strike. In the dirt.
Lowe and pitch with Texas. Like I said, last season he was with Japan. He was in Japan.
Lead-off walk to Randy Wynn.
Sure, that'll get the bullpen going for Milwaukee. They do have a 3-run lead.
Lowe signed a minor league contract with Milwaukee, invite to spring, and then was called up on June 1st. Schumacher takes a strike on the outside corner.
Made 10 starts at AAA Nashville. He's 4-3, ERA at 3.16. Last pitch Tuesday against Houston, and then in a third, allowed 1 hit.
I think this guy would be intimidating with his size. 6'7". Runner goes and a foul tip, so Wynn is back to first.
The Cardinals are trailing by 3, and you would think they would have a little more of a running game, as catcher has only thrown out, what, 1 of 29 base stealers?
Cardinals only with 4 hits tonight. Drawn 1 walk.
Brendan Ryan trying to get in position to watch the pitcher and not watching the pitcher.
Slowly hit towards second. Weeks only played at first, and they got him. Good play. Get the runner to your left, trying to avoid, and then you're charging to make a play on a guy that gets down the line pretty well in Schumacher.
And Ricky Weeks, when he first came up, was really a defensive liability. He's worked hard at his craft, and now he makes a fine play. As you can see how tough that was, momentum's going towards their dugout, and you've got to kind of reverse directions, throw an awkward angle, and have something on it, as you say. With the speedy runner going down there, you know Schumacher's never going to take anything for granted.
Got to be tempting for Skip to try to dive head first. We've seen him do that a number of times.
Normally see that.
It's Brendan Ryan with 1 out and a runner at second. Brendan is bounced back to the pitcher. Flied out to right, also flied out to center. 0 for 3.
Gap out in left center. They don't think he'll get around on low.
Hits it into left, but Braun is there to make the catch. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So 2 outs and a runner at second base. Here's Felipe Lopez. Lopez has popped out and grounded out twice. Just trying to extend this inning to Pujols and give him a shot. Nobody getting loose in that bullpen for Milwaukee. So you would assume if Felipe gets on, it's Lowe and Pujols.
Bring it on, Felipe. He is 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for his last 7, but 391 with runners in scoring position, 340 with runners on base, period.
(2-0), 3-0.
They get your wish, Dan.
Aren't you a little surprised that they don't have somebody throwing in that bullpen right now?
Yes, I am, but Ken Maka has seen that team struggle a little bit. They're going to get somebody up now.
The 3-0. He walked him.
Getting the closer up. Maxford is getting up here.
And he just started throwing.
Right. So unless they stall extensively, Albert's going to get his shot to tie this ball game. John Axford has been perfect in save situations once Trevor Hoffman was demoted. Rick Peterson, the pitching coach, out to talk. That'll give Axford time to warm up if they want to make a pitching change.
That's about his third throw from the rubber out there in the bullpen. He was just up in the last minute and a half or so and was just playing catch. Pujols back in the 7th. If you missed it, a line drive shot to center field. This one, number 19 for Albert.
Just enough to get over the wall.
So here we go.
3-time National League MVP, Albert Pujols. Some people think he's having a down year, but this year with 2 outs, runners in scoring position, .440 batting average.
First pitch to Pujols. It's now 5 straight balls thrown by this righty. On deck, Holliday.
Should be able to throw on a downward plane, shouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Here's what you're talking about, that .440 average. Runners at first and second. Lopez and Wynn out there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reason that he is back in the major leagues. Pretty good pitch.
Down and away. That's where you want to throw. May hit it hard, but you're usually going to hit it on the ground.
Strike 2. Breaking pitch.
Yeah, breaking pitch way out in front on it. Albert came up a key time in yesterday's ball game. Bases loaded. 2 outs and struck out on a breaking ball off the plate. You know, he's trying to just do what you can do. Don't try and make up for yesterday.
Outfield extremely deep for Pujols. 1-2 pitch. Foul ball.
Pretty good sinking action.
A little extra on that too.
93-mile-an-hour fastball.
You know, Lowe has come in now. He hasn't been throwing all that hard.
I think the harder he throws, the better it's going to be for Albert. Through that 93, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Look for that slow breaking ball again.
On 1 and 2. Pujols fists it to the third baseman, and the threat is through here in the bottom of the 8th. Lowe does the job. It's 4-1 Milwaukee.
Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Rick Horton will be at Lumiere Place. The Cards' offensive struggles continue. Pujols' power surge rolls on, and a look at Blake Hawksworth's night as well. All that and more coming up after the game. Mitchell Boggs on to pitch as we send it back to the booth. And Dan and Al, guys.
All right, Jim, thanks. Al, you take a look at Mitchell Boggs here. He's been fantastic as of late. The numbers have been very, very good.
I struck out 3 batters in an inning and a third yesterday, his 31st appearance. He's been throwing that power sinker. Keep that ball down, good downward action, and he could throw it, 96, 97 miles an hour. That's a very, very tough pitch to hit. If you do, you pound it in the dirt.
Here's Casey McGee. He got everything started with a home run. Hawksworth gave up 3 runs. Salas solo shot, and it's 4-1.
Cardinal offense continues to struggle. Pretty much, if you get the Cardinals more than 3 runs, they're 39-7. Scoring fewer than 3 runs, they're 3-23 coming in tonight.
Cardinals have had a couple of opportunities here this evening. They've gotten away, and the Cardinals have stranded 5 and only have 4 hits tonight. Two-two pitch. Got him. 96, couldn't pull the trigger, and a strikeout from Mitchell Boggs. Cardinals will have Holiday, Stabenoa, and Rasmus coming up.
Edmonds 0 for 3. First 2 times hit the ball fairly hard. Struck out his last time. That was the last batter that Hawksworth faced as he gave up a couple home runs, totaling 3 runs, and he struck out 7.
Edmonds opposite way. Holiday back, and he's got it.
Another well-struck ball as Jimmy is 15 home runs away from 400.
Let's just say that he would get to 400. Hall of Fame? I mean, we've talked about it before, but that was when he wasn't playing anymore.
Yeah, he will definitely get some votes, and hopefully, I think he has to pad his numbers a little bit. Jim could, hopefully if the season's over, and that might be tough to get the 15 home runs for 400, but you never know.
Might play another year. He keeps himself in great condition.
Yeah, he said he really feels better than he has for quite a while. He's 12 walks away from 1,000, 15 from 400 home runs. He will get 2,000 games played this year. He has 4 All-Star appearances, 8-time Gold Glove winner. So I think, you definitely will see people make a case for him. Others may say that the 400 home runs were hit in this era of big home run hitters. I just think Jim's having fun playing. At this stage, he would like to be playing on a team that's winning more often. So, as you said, he's very content to play with his teammates now, but if they decided they were out of contention, he would look very forward to being moved to a contender.
For a guy that's been around a long time, that would just really jumpstart you too. Having a chance to know you could win another ring.
No doubt about it. There's still some Edmonds fans in town. Still has his restaurant here.
And a base hit up the middle for Escobar. Al, that was the 4th time that Edmonds had come up, and still fans were giving him a nice round of applause. And it's not like this is the first time he's been back.
And I saw Jimmy in between his batting practice cuts sign autographs for the Cardinal fans. It's one of the reasons I think he first made his intentions known to the Cardinals that he wanted to come back, is he knows that he is well respected and accepted here in this town. Had some good years for the Cardinals. Played on some very good clubs. He was a big part of them.
Gutierrez with a 2-run homer that made it 3-1. Milwaukee added another home run. They've hit 3 tonight. First pitch is strike. And Hawksworth gave the Cardinals exactly what they needed. I mean, he was just fine tonight. If the Cardinals gave them some offense, he'd be right in this game. Instead, they trail by 3.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the quality start, and it was devised by agents for arbitration statistics, you know, to where they could argue the value of one of their players, pitcher, who doesn't have a winning record. But
Moline at his second and still made that close from his knees on a breaking ball in the dirt. Stolen base number 6.
Such a weapon back there, and then you see he really started to come up and got tangled up, but shows you that great arm strength to even make this close or even get the ball in the air all the way to second as he's starting to fall. He usually just shuts down the running game, but there's another one that I think you can pretty much say that was stolen off the pitcher. But, you know, when you talk about a starting pitcher, the only thing you ask is you keep your team in the game, and Hawksworth did so. And gets a quality start on top of it.
Giants today traded his brother to Texas.
This Benji, many times was their cleanup hitter.
1-2 pitch. Out to right. Stays in the ballpark. Stavanoa makes that catch. Bottom of the 9th. It's 4-1. Four hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 4. Randy Wolfhard, Budweiser, player of the game.
John Axford, their closer, made his Major League debut late last season. Started the season at AAA and was called up on May 15th, and he's 8 for 8 in save opportunities. Trevor Hoffman, the all-time saves leader, 5 for 10 in save opportunities. Lost his role as a closer, and Axford has done a good job to where Right now, Trevor's starting to pitch much better, but you've got to go with the guy that is doing the job.
Ken Maka, you're in a tough spot too, dealing with a future Hall of Famer and a guy that is 4 away from 600 saves and could be the only man to do it. Right behind him is Mariano Rivera. Last time he had a save opportunity, talking about Trevor Hoffman, was back on May 18th. Gave up 3 runs, 4 hits, a walk. He did not retire a man. As you mentioned, he's been a lot better.
He's unscored upon in 10 of his last appearance, Trevor Hoffman. Tuesday, Ashford picked up his 8th save of the season.
Matt Holliday in the second half of June was on fire. 413, 19 hits, 4th best in the major leagues.
Hopefully that's just a sign to come.
He's walked tonight, grounded out and lined out. Axford is 6'5", 195 pounds, a Canadian. 20 innings this year, 25 Ks, and only 6 runs allowed. 2-1 pitch.
From Ontario, Canada.
A 3-1 pitch on its way. High. Here's Nick Stavinoa, single to right last time up.
I got a feeling Stavinoa is going to do something good. Remember, it was against the Brewers. He hit his first pinch hit home run this year off of Trevor Hoffman. That became a game winner. Then went to Philadelphia. He hit a go-ahead pinch hit home run. He's got 3 of those in a year. He's 2 for 3 tonight playing right field. Good rip there as he's ready.
Timing when you're a hitter, and it's tough to keep that timing sharp when you're not playing every day, but Stavinoa has found a way, and with Ludwig's injury, he's been playing in right field every night.
Yeah, he's had a couple. He had a 7-game hitting streak as a pinch hitter. I mean, that's tough.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. A little late as Axford throws hard. He's consistently in the mid-90s. You'll see him touch 97, 98.
It's kind of like straight over the top, but it kind of seems like there's a slight hesitation. So he starts coming forward. That'll throw a hitter's timing off. Stavinoa, with his 2 hits tonight, does have a little modest 3-game hitting streak.
0-2 pitch. Got him. Derek and Reagan Pitts are enjoying baseball tonight. They've got us tuned in down in Texas. Favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Smart people.
The rally caps are out. Cardinals down to their final 2 outs.
Looks better on the youngster than the dad.
I'll second that. One out and a runner at first for Colby. Remember back in early June, it was the walk-off base hit by Colby against Milwaukee and Axford.
We can get this game within 1. We need base runners.
The 0-1. In the air to center. 2 outs. Up to Molina.
He had some tough luck his first 2 times up. He hit the ball hard, lining out twice. Nice play by Edmonds on the first one. Sliding catch by Hart in right field in the second. Then he hit into a double play.
Off the end of the bat, and that'll roll foul. The play behind Holiday, get a little better defense by not holding him on and put fielder in fielding position.
See if Holiday won't take off. They're giving it to you. Stop, keep away from that force play, but with Molina running, it's probably not going to make any difference on a ground ball.
And the Cardinals down to their final strike here.
Cardinals would be 3-24 if they lose this game and they score less than 3 runs. What a lot of people were considering a great offense, just hadn't been here consistently.
4 hits tonight. 0-2 pitch, taken high. 97 on our gun. There's a fly ball into right. Hart is over and makes the catch on the line and then runs into the wall. Nice play, and that's how the game comes to a close. Very fine play. That would have sent the tying run to the plate, and by making that catch, he probably saves a run too. Cardinals with just 4 hits tonight, they lose it 4-1.
That was not an easy play, and really nice play by Hart. And that tough luck hitting continues from Molina.
Post-game show coming up.